there's a really interesting shift happening around me. My ex-colleagues from Google, YouTube, management consulting, investment banking, they all wanted to come and talk about frameworks because everyone can see the power of taking random thoughts, rambly thoughts, scattered thoughts, and being able to distill them really clearly with AI. Right? We can all see, okay, with that, then I can communicate with other people more clearly. I can think more clearly, move forward, and I can get things done. But the response goes in one of two ways. Right? The first camp is, whoa. Now that I see that, I'm never sharing how I do anything because once I share it into a clear framework, then I'm going to be replaced. I want my job and I don't want to be replaced. The other camp is almost the entire opposite, which is, hey, how do you package what you know with things like YouTube videos and frameworks? Because now I want to do the same. I want to build those assets and be able to distill what I know into something that's a bit more clear to use so I can put it into my own AI workflows so that I can teach others, so I can build something off of my own assets. So I wanted to talk about this dynamic today because it's really worth thinking for knowledge workers where, knowledge is our intellectual property. How do you want to deal with it in this age of AI where once you share it seems like it might run away? Let's dive deep into this. Here's a framework that can help us see the context of knowledge work and where AI fits into it, where we fit into it, and where this contrast come from. And it's called DIKW. It's really the foundation of information theory and stands for data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. All right. And there's a flow to it. We go from data to information, information to knowledge, and knowledge to wisdom. What this means is first we start with just raw input, right? There are some numbers, there's some signal, maybe there's some noise. And by itself, it doesn't really mean anything. But when we give it structure, then we start to see information. Maybe is we see that, hey, sales has been growing very quickly for the past 4 years, right? We start to plot those input and we start to give it some meaning. So as you can imagine, this part AI is doing so great at. And luckily for most people, we're happy for it to run, the first analysis of the data, find some of the signals so then we can go forward with that signal. Because to go from information to knowledge, we want to figure out the so what, right? Like, okay, sales is going up. So what are we going to do with that information? Are we going to, update our goal? Are we going to say, hey, we've achieved our goal, we're going to do something else? What are we going to do with this data? Or maybe it's saying, hey, what we're doing, it's working. Maybe we should distill a framework, right? So figuring out, hey, what to do with that information then requires a little bit of judgment. So I don't want to say AI can't judge. Right now, at least, it's not the great person to judge. You can see if you understand what you're feeding it, a lot of the time you can see it misses the point, right? It doesn't get the point because it doesn't have all the context, and it doesn't matter how much context engineering you share. A lot of the time it might not capture the right things for AI to understand exactly how to judge. Okay, it definitely can help by giving frameworks, which I talked about in this video here, but the idea here is, okay, there's still, at least for now, some room for human intervention. All right, so this is one of the places we'll focus on when we talk about, hey, should you protect your intellectual property and not share anything, or should you distill them? The next step is going from knowledge to wisdom. So now it's about which knowledge to use, how to use it, when to use it, why are you using it? And it goes from, doing things right to doing the right thing. So this requires more experience. This requires building up, applying that knowledge in different places and distilling some of the core principles here. So in general, this is the context of knowledge work, right? We're happy that AI is here. Maybe some parts of AI is here, question mark. So far, at least, we all agree it's not quite there yet. Who knows what will happen with AGI? But I want to then, with this context, break down what do we do with our knowledge, right? Do we protect it? Do we distill it? How does it help us build our career, build our financial security? And here I want to introduce a study by Chi, Feltovic, and Glasser, where they brought in a bunch of physics students. Some are undergrad, some are PhD. So first, they gave them a bunch of physics problems and say, okay, sort these problems. So undergrad goes first and they look at the problem and they sort them. Okay, here are the problems with pulleys. Here are the problem with inclined planes. And so they start to separate the piles. Piles make sense, and they were relatively quick with it. Then came the PhDs. They were also sorting the problem, but here their piles look a bit strange. Well, the pulley problem will go with the inclined plane problems. They didn't seem to be connected, but actually what the PhDs were doing was looking at the underlying principles of what is behind that problem. They realized, okay, this is all Newton's second law problems, right? Doesn't matter if they use pulleys, doesn't matter if they use inclined planes. The core element you need to solve the problem is Newton's second law. Or this one is a work energy theorem problem. So, the superficial characteristics didn't matter. It was understanding the principle. The PhDs took a bit longer to sort, but the way that they were sorting were fundamentally different from the beginners. And you might have noticed AI is great at lightning speed, superficial characteristics sorting for most of the time, unless you give it a framework to help it look for the underlying principles. Then you're going to extract deep insights that a non-prompted AI wouldn't be able to give you. So what do you do with that? Coming back to do I protect my knowledge or do I distill them? Well, I think you want to think about yourself in the extreme as an author. How does that sit with you? Because authors, right, they distill frameworks. They distill their entire life's work into one main framework and probably a few sub-frameworks around it. So let's say you want to author, you have these frameworks. All right, then what do you do with it, right? You might think, wait, you gave everything you know away, so then what's going to happen next? Nothing. No one's going to need you anymore. Is that actually the case though? Because, okay, out of all the readers that read this book, right, there might be 10% of people, okay, who says, oh, perfect. This framework that you shared exactly matched what I'm doing and I understand it completely and I'm going to apply it and I get great results, right? What does this do? It didn't reduce your abilities. Rather, it confirmed that, hey, your framework works and they are now going to be advocates of what you're doing. The remaining 90% are the ones who say, oh, okay, yeah, great book. I understand the framework intellectually. They will try to apply it to their daily lives, but somehow that translation doesn't work, right? Because just because you distill the framework doesn't mean that you can articulate every single context around it. Doesn't mean you can give them 1,000 different frameworks in order for them to apply to exactly their situation, right? Some sort of translation is needed. So that's why the author from the book would then create to build some sort of company. That's the company. Okay, well, I'll add a door for it. Right, where you might run training, you might run consulting, you might do a speaking circuit. Right, because now actually the book helped you articulate your value, and now you can go again to help people translate that value into their own lives, because that translating is not very obvious. So by distilling your frameworks, it doesn't actually hinder you, right? Rather, this feeling of I need to protect my knowledge is what's trapping us. Because what happens is, you are able to do, let's say, one thing, right? I am able to do A. But you don't share how you do A. So every time at work there is A, right? You get that job. What does that do? That just builds up your workload. Every time you need to do A, you need to do it, and no one else can help you, right? Whereas if you say, okay, A, this is actually how you do it, and now other people can use this, they can also do A. Now you have, let's say, 3 people being able to do A. What happens is not that, okay, now, everything is perfect. We just move on. We don't need you anymore. Instead, it's, wait, how do I actually do A when like this thing seems random? This doesn't fit into your original framework. Hey, what do I need to do when, something changes? Let's say external market changes. And now some of these assumptions are not the same, right? So you become recognized for expertise to be able to solve those problems. Every time you come up with a solution, there is a new problem that comes up, right? So now naturally you are the thought leader around A. So anytime your team has a problem with A, they come to you, and now you become a problem solver rather than an executor. Okay? So immediately you increase your value. Then is, okay, this is my team, but now there are other teams, right? Who also wants to do A. Well, then you can go and share how you do your method. And now all of a sudden you're moving up the rank as someone who has the ability to affect not only your team, but other teams, right? And then turns out your team is not just within your company. Actually, there are so many other companies that have the same problem, right? So there's lots of different places that require your expertise. So now you become more valuable just by letting people know, hey, I have a solution to A, right? When I can generalize it enough so that you can understand it and you can start to try it. But when you meet problems, I also have the experience to be able to solve it. And here's what I want to mention about experience. At this moment, we have the great advantage of having to use our raw brain power to solve problems up until now. So compare yourself with someone who just graduated university, okay? They will have, these frameworks. AI LLMs already have a bunch of frameworks installed in them, right? If you ask for an update, they have a general framework of this is what you need to do when you share update. So they will know how to do A. Let's say A is the best project update ever. But the problem is, because they don't have real life experience, when something doesn't quite fit, they wouldn't know how to work. And they wouldn't be able to judge the output of the AI because what's good? I don't know, right? Because they don't have the experience to hang the results onto. Whereas you, me, everyone else who's used their raw brain power to get to where they are now, you have so much of that experience. So it's personally really a waste to be a doer, like to just focus your energy on doing something well. Instead, it is to say, okay, now I have a better way of doing A. Let me share with all of you so that I get space to move forward, right? There's a few ways to do this, right? A, you turn it into a framework, right? Other people use it, and then you become known as the person who is A expert, right? But A is not the only thing that you know how to do. For most people, if you're good at doing one thing, you probably have B, you probably have C, right? So then you can repeat this process so that you can show, hey, these are all of the things I could do, right? For example, on YouTube, I share a bunch of frameworks for free so that people can see, but I also teach them with a fee because those are more complex problems. Those are problems that lead to bigger outcomes maybe. So yeah, people know that you can do something. You can still build value around it. That's step number one. Step number two is then you can do this within, let's say, your current company. Or you can move around to a new company. Right? So let me just take myself as an example. Yes, I can do it within, Google, wherever I used to work. All right. Now I move to, let's say, YouTube. So now I do it for another set of people. Then I can continue to do this because now I am teaching executive workshops at different companies. They're all different contexts, but now I can leverage what I know to reach them. All right. That's the second thing, right? Number two is, even if you don't feel like, I don't know, like teaching other people is not really my thing, what you can do is also, where do I put this? you can also share this with your AI. So at least if you feel like, okay, I don't really want to share what's proprietary for me, having your AI know your bars of quality, know exactly how you process through something so that it can help you save time and generate more space for you to work on other things is already gold, right? And out of these, all of these, what you're actually building is your meta skill, right? Like I always have these creator friends, educator friends, people in entrepreneurship ask me, well, why do you share your frameworks for free? If you share them all for free, what's going to be left, right? You have to always protect it. I don't think so, though, because what I'm building is a skill to be able to, spot and explain problem, and then spot and explain what kind of desired outcome there is. And then I know how to build a framework so that we bridge the gap between the two, and then be able to explain it and teach it to other people. This is the meta skill I'm building on. So even if, let's just say, communication, yeah, sure, I can share all of the frameworks and put them all free up online, and I no longer want to talk about this anymore. I'm not worried, right? There's plenty of problems to solve in this world, and I can apply it to all sorts of problems in all sorts of context. So yes, of course, AI, we can see it as a threat. Let's say, with improving your communication with frameworks. I share these custom GPTs with all of my students for every single workshop, every single cohort, because it will help them practice. They will have a 24/7 Wiki to help them with whatever it is that they're working on. It gives them momentum, gives them more practice. I think that's a great thing. You can also say, well, isn't that, corrosive to your value because now people don't pay you for coaching anymore? I don't think that's true because anyway, not everyone's going to be able to pay for coaching. And I still want to share something that gets them ahead because, again, every solution creates a new problem, right? Let's say, we did an executive communication workshop. So let's just say, from that, you are now so comfortable with executive communication. That's great, right? The next problem will be, okay, now I'm getting recognized with executives and they are asking me to share my learnings with other teams. Now, my problem is, how do I share with people who don't have the same context as me, who have completely different problems that they're working on? Executives are clear because we're all moving towards that big picture goal, but everyone else is more focused on their own world. So how do I adapt the message so that they can understand what I'm saying? Right? That's a new problem. We can definitely work on that. You're not going to use the same frameworks, or even if you use the same frameworks, you have to adapt it. So I'm not worried about losing that value. But if I don't distill those frameworks, I will just get stuck as someone, hey, let me write your script, right? That's all I can do. Whereas if I can teach people how to fish, right, then they'll have more problems. They want to get more fish. We can all grow together. I think that's such a powerful thing. And the fear of, oh my gosh, what if I just distill my frameworks and I have nothing left, is not recognizing that this is actually a skill that you can build, right? This is the core of problem solving, and problem solving won't go out of style. There is a million different ways to even spot one problem, spot the outcome that you want, and be able to bridge the gap. So there's plenty of space, and hopefully you enjoy it, right? That's why you're a knowledge worker, you're watching this video. A quick way to assess where you are now is looking at the pyramid of what you focus on, right? For most people, it's focusing on tasks, and this is where I call you're building sandcastles. Because every time you finish a task, nothing remains, right? The wave washes it away. And now you realize, okay, next thing I have to start over again, start a new chat with ChatGPT, Copilot, and see what happens. The next level that you want to be at is starting to recognize patterns, right? Like, oh, my tasks a lot of them have the same pattern, which is I need to know what the goal is, what the problem is, and be able to talk about the next 3 steps, for example. Then every time you start a chat, you don't need to start fresh. You always need to put in, here's my goal. Always need to put in, hey, here's the problem I'm dealing with, and then share the 3 steps, or get ChatGPT to help you figure out the next 3 steps. So then you're focusing on pattern. You're moving up one level and starting to spot the categories and the fundamental structures that are underlying it. But usually patterns are not enough. And that's where the next stage is really focusing on the frameworks, which distill what are the core principles at play here? What's most important to look at? What are the things, 80-20 you can throw out the window for now in order to know that, okay, so then I can repeat this, because what frameworks does is it allows you to automate, or at least semi-automate, right? Because you can control the quality of the outcome that comes out of it, because you tell yourself or others or AI to say, these are the things that we must get clear in order to get to that output. So you make things more streamlined. And the interesting thing is, once that happens, you have the space to improve, right? So for example, when I just ran one of my workshops, I noticed how as we are using the frameworks and different people apply it to different contexts, they start to distill their own ideas based on their experience, right? They start to say, oh, okay, you mentioned this framework, but I want to use it a slightly different way. That is awesome, right? That is how you make frameworks your own. So it's not over once you learn a framework and use it. It's then noticing, okay, now that I've used it, this is what I really like, this is what I didn't like, and now what am I going to do with that? Right? That secondary distillation, and then once you tweak it, you try it, and then you distill again, that's where you start to make things your own. And to make this easier for you, I've created a swipe file down below that you can download for free to help yourself start to think through, how do you create your own frameworks? How do you distill what you know into a package that then you can communicate with others and get leverage out of? So I want to say, if you feel like AI is threatening and none of us can read the future, at least build on this meta skill. Start to figure out, hey, what are some of the experiences that I have that is good enough for me to distill it down into a framework? And the more you can create frameworks, the more you'll realize how much space there is for you to do more things. Coming back to that author idea, right? 99% of the population is not an author. So if you're in that position where you think you have enough to start distilling, even if you're not ready to write that book yet, you can start to distill smaller frameworks that build towards that big framework, your life's work there. And by doing that, you start to announce to yourself and to others that, hey, I know something in this realm, right? I do something different from just the average person next door. And by announcing that, you'll see that the possibilities spread. Right? You start with just putting it into your AI, creating your own skills, your workflow. I talk about it in this video. Or you can start sharing it with your team so that you become recognized for that person who knows something special about this topic, right? And grow from there.